This is from some French journalists, Indian journalists, of Hamas launching rockets from civilian areas. One of our reporters said in the video, one of the French journalists is quoted as saying, children are playing on the rocket launchers. Do you condemn Hamas for doing this?
Well, you know, let me say this. I mean, if there has been incidents, we don't know the circumstances of this particular rocket launcher. And if there has been incidents in which fighters from Palestinian factions fired at Israel from civilian populated centers, I think they were isolated centers. But to portray that this was the rule and not the exception is not a fair representation of what is happening in Gaza. Again, we don't want to go into the argument how densely populated the Gaza Strip, the fact the Palestinians have nowhere to go. We shouldn't also forget the fact that, you know, 1.8 million Palestinians are trapped there, and they were subjected to a brutal, savage campaign by Israel that left almost 1,900 people dead and 10,000 wounded.
When you say isolated incidents, though, I must ask you, Ambassador, because, you know, the conclusion of many is that these are not isolated incidents. The Israeli Defense Forces say they have a manual, a Hamas combat manual, in which there is a full section that discusses, we're showing it here, the benefits for Hamas when civilian homes are destroyed. That this is not isolated, this is intentional and methodical.
It's once again adopting the Israeli narrative. I mean, how do we know if this is authentic or not authentic? Remember what happened on Friday when the Israeli soldier allegedly was captured. I was listening to the reaction of U.S. officials and UN officials who, since 8 o'clock in the morning, jumped on the Israeli narrative, accused the Palestinian factions of capturing the soldier, to find out 24 hours later that he was shot and killed during the confrontation that happened. I would very much caution against adopting the Israeli narrative. I don't know how authentic these manuals are, but again, it does not justify Israel's targeting of civilian population centers and killing 1,900 people and wounding 10,000 others.
Ambassador, the President of the United States just said something else in his press conference in addition to his condemnation of Hamas, and I wanted to play that for you.
I have no sympathy for Hamas. I have great sympathy for some of the work that has been done in cooperation with Israel and the international community by the Palestinian Authority. And they've shown themselves to be responsible. They have recognized Israel. They are prepared to move forward to arrive at a two-state solution. I think Abu Mazen is sincere in his desire for peace. But they have also been weakened, I think, during this process.
He's talking about you. Have you been weakened?
Well, first of all, we appreciate very much the acknowledgement by President Obama of the fact that our leadership, President Abbas, are sincere, and they have been really exerting a lot of efforts to reach a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The U.S. administration knows very well who contributed to the collapse of the negotiations that Secretary Kerry held with the two sides since July of last year. It was Israel reneging on its commitment to Secretary of State Kerry. It's Israel's refusal to engage the Palestinians genuinely and sincerely to end the conflict, a two-state solution. We are ready, willing and able to continue our engagement based on clear terms of reference.
Are you, though, as frustrated with Hamas as others are for different reasons, in that they, in a sense, they seem to have hijacked it? You're ready, willing, and able. The President of the United States says, though, you've been weakened. Hamas is the one driving the terms, forcing you to come on programs like this and try to explain away rockets being placed, having children playing on them.
Well, I think the President was trying to say, when he alluded to that, and I don't necessarily agree with the assessment that we have been weakened, to say that the Palestinian leadership, we must work with the Palestinian leadership, is an acknowledgement that the PLO leadership is genuine, sincere about seeking peace. And I think the role that President Abbas and the PLO, the fact, and President Obama alluded to that, the fact that there is a united Palestinian delegation in Cairo that was actually formed by President Abbas, is an indication that President Abbas and the PLO plan to play an important role in the days to come.